the scientific aspect of training, and then there's this next level of transcendence of like accessing your creative self, like your spiritual self. Workouts are ultimately like, you've had some spiritual workouts, right? And most people don't get that opportunity.
Not a lot of people say that though.
No, dude. Every workout can be a meditative opportunity if you make it such, right? This good numbers jumping up here, Mike.
Hi guys, Ben Pakulski is in the house from Florida. By far one of the most advanced training facilities.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be advanced, it was just meant to be fun. Like, it's just.
But it is advanced.
Yeah.
One of the things I said this morning when I was driving to the gym, I said, I'm not missing this opportunity to train with you and be around you because
thank you.
You're somebody that understands philosophy of training outside of the typical, let's get strong, let's get muscular. There's
fun,
so
but
much
it has
more
to be
to it.
Right. Yeah, that's like the beginnings, right? Like that's what gets you excited, that's what gets you motivated. But if you actually want to get great results, hopefully at some point it goes deeper. Because there's a spiritual thing there too, right? Like there's the scientific aspect of training, and then there's this next level of transcendence of like accessing your creative self, like your spiritual self. Workouts are ultimately like, you've had some spiritual workouts, right? And most people don't get that opportunity.
Not a lot of people say that though.
No, dude. Every workout can be a meditative opportunity if you make it such, right? This ability to kind of connect rather than disconnect. Most people go in there and they put their hat over their eyes and their headphones on. They try to disconnect from their thoughts. I'm the opposite, man. I want to go in there and use it as a meditative experience and try to connect and be present in the moment and present in everything I do. And that's a hard thing to do.
That's a beautiful thing to say, though. Very articulate. And one of the things that I do at Gold's is I don't let the music come on until 6, and I train from 4 to 6 because I don't want the distraction of the music because I don't need it.
I don't even hear it when I'm training. Like I always say, if you hear the music when you're training, you're not doing it right. Right? Like,
we agree about so much on this. And again, we didn't plan this, and we've talked a few times in depth. And I said earlier today, I said it's fun that we all come from this outer perspective of what we want to train, and then we all finish right up in this little peak area together in a small little circle of people going, no, we all made it here, and we grew, and we got rid of the basic stuff that people look at and go, oh, I'm going to get muscular. Yeah, but, and we keep saying, well, but there's something more, I
think that's what draws us to it, right? At the beginning, everyone's drawn to the primal aspect, the strength. I want to have confidence. And then you transcend all those things. Or my realization, how I describe this to people is, I don't know if you've experienced this, but like when I got to the Olympics, so as a 15-year-old boy, the only thing I ever wanted to do was to train with Mike O'Hearn and to be on the Olympia stage. And then you get all these things and you realize it doesn't change the person you are, right? And once you realize that, you're like, okay, well, that's amazing, but now where's the actual fulfillment? Because that doesn't fulfill you, man. Like, you have to go deeper, and now the kind of spotlight turns on myself. It turns within, right, rather than outside.
I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that now? We're good? We can hear this because we've been going live here, guys, and I'm sorry you're just getting this now, but he's given some incredible stuff that I've stated in the past, and I think the way you just put it is beautiful. And you were saying that when you were 15 years old, you had these dreams, and then you got to the Olympia stage. Continue.
Yeah, so it's this idea of you're 15 years old or however old you are, and you have this aspiration to get somewhere, right? Like, I want to make money, or I want to get to the Olympia stage, or I want to be 300 pounds at 4% body fat, whatever it happens to be. You have some external goal outside of yourself. And you spend all of these years stressing over the attainment of these goals. And you finally, if you're very, very lucky, attain those goals, right? Not everyone gets to attain those goals, but many people do. And if you're very lucky, you attain those goals. But you realize oftentimes when you attain your goal, whether it be money or muscle or whatever is material, that anything that's outside of yourself, it's not what you think it's going to be, right? We both know hundreds of like millionaires, multimillionaires, who are not fulfilled. They get the money and they're like, oh, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So now it's a matter of like, your whole life, that spotlight is shining on the end result. You're like, I got to go there and I'm going to be happy at the top of the mountain, right? So you reach the top of this proverbial mountain, then you look around and you go, oh, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So now the journey goes internal, and it's the spiritual journey to realize, like, I'm after fulfillment. I'm not after these external things. I need to fulfill myself as a man and be more self-confident and develop character and all these attributes.
I was gonna start this whole thing off and go, okay, let me just stay with the basics, what you guys want to hear, and it's let's talk about nutrition, let's talk about training and form and stuff. But what you jumped into was something that's so much more meaningful to me, and I hope we can get this across to them, because your point was this, similar to the story I said, is like when I won the 97 Universe again.
There's a picture on the wall. It's ridiculous.
So I won the Universe, and my entire life was chasing things.
Yeah.
And I never lived in the moment.
Chasing the external.
And in 97 Universe, I won the Universe, and I went backstage and I said to my training partners, oh, yeah, you know what we're going to do for next year? And at that moment, my brother that was there goes, are you serious? That was the 4th time you won it. At what point will you just live in the moment? And I'm sitting there going, well, no, I'm thinking about next year. And he's like, stop.
Beautiful.
Stop.
Right.
What is after, what? And I realized that night when I was going to bed, I'm sitting there going, I didn't live in this for 1 second.
No.
I won the show. I went backstage and said,
What's
now.
Next? What's next? Yeah.
What's next? And as soon as I got to California, and Joe Weider brought me down, it was, okay, who can I beat? Who can I outlift?
Sure.
What show can I win? How many covers can I get?
There's
And it never stopped.
There's value in that, right? That's very much the current way of society. There's value in achieving an accomplishment, right? But it'll never fulfill you, right?
Nope.
It's nice to beat everybody else and prove to yourself, like, oh, I'm all this confident person, but that's just the ego driving, and ultimate fulfillment, as we both know now, comes in how present can I be in this exact moment and appreciate those little things. And now that we both have kids, that makes you, or hopefully makes you present, right? Or forces you to be present, because that was my slap in the face. It was like, oh, I have to actually start paying attention to these little humans, because it goes by like that, as everyone says. But presence is the goal, man. Presence is the goal. Like, how can I make this workout so focused, so myopic on myself? I'm being the best version of myself right now. How can I face my negativity? How can I face my laziness? How can I face the necessity to be disciplined to be the best version of myself right now? I'm not worrying about tomorrow, because tomorrow doesn't matter. Like, we're not promised tomorrow. That's the cliche, but that's the reality.
You're getting killer stuff here, I've got to say, because I learned when I lost my first pup. I got lucky, and I got 2 dogs, my first dogs. And he lived for 15 years, Bunny did. And when he passed, I'm like, wow, that was 15 years and it's over.
Right.
And it woke me up. And I said, that was gone. And I'm a dog guy. And before I had my baby 9 weeks ago, and I'm still a dog guy, but
Yeah.
it woke me up to go, you gotta slow down at some point. And so I learned late in life, and I hope you guys do this as youngsters, and start living in the moments and the days. And you said something about, for me, training is that spiritual moment, that battle with myself that I love. And I am so much more present in my workouts in the last 10 years than I ever was.
Right.
And I gained more by
course.
being more present. Instead of going
you're
in,
able to take it further, each set further, rather than like being attached to how much do I have to do to make progress. As we said, it's how little do I have to do with absolute focus and effort in the smallest amount of window to get the greatest amount of result. That's the ideal scenario, I feel, for physique.
100%.
Yeah.
So I know this is outside the norm, and it's not health and fitness, but it's life that
It is, man.
It transfers to health and
And everyone
fitness.
listening to this podcast trains. And if you don't use it as a daily opportunity to become the best version of yourself, you're missing out on something. It's not the daily version, not the daily opportunity to build muscle. That is the side effect, right? That's the side benefit. But the true benefit is the person you become in the process, right? And that's my great mentor, Jim Rohn, said that. He's like, don't set the goal to become a millionaire for the money. Set the goal for the person it makes you to become. And that's beauty. And that's the same in muscle, man. Like, Mike O'Hearn doesn't become Mike O'Hearn for the like, maybe you started for the muscle, but the man you've become now is all those struggles you fought along the way, all the trophies on the wall, right? Like, the trophy is only a reminder of the struggle that it took to get there. The trophy is worth $7.
Yeah.
But the process, the ascension of the mountain is priceless, right?
Yeah, who you become during the
It's
12
everything.
weeks, the commitment you make, and
Yeah.
those commitments help in everyday life.
Right, building the confidence and the character and the discipline, all those things that people don't have. And that's why bodybuilders are sometimes revered as like, oh wow, they're big and strong. Well, they're big and strong because they put in the work and the discipline, and they have the ability to not cheat on the diet and to follow those things that everyone else can't do.
Right.
It's not that you can't do it, it's just that people haven't done it, right? Everyone can do it.
100%.